watching GTV, and now it's time for this afternoon's session of Children's GBC, and once again, here are the two Georges to be presenting the programmes. Yeah, because since last week there's no more Teletubbies, but we do have two other programmes to be taking over Teletubbies' place, and here it is. So here's George Buxton to go first, and then George Bryn. Enjoy! Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Children's GBC on a Friday afternoon. Okay, now, if you remember that last week, that when we had two programs like Harry, Jeremy, and Brum from last time, well, I believe that we're still going strong this week. Now, because we have Harry, Jeremy, because that's the first program that we'll have in a few minutes, and of course that we'll have Brum, in which when Brum holds a street party, which is something to do with Rob the clean sweeper. But anyways, now I believe that we're going to focus on right now. So here's Harry Jeremy, and today's episode is called Egghead. Now, I've heard that eggheads are a bit like sheeps in general, well, except that you get eggheads because that's something to do with eggs. So here's Harry Jeremy, and I am not on about hairy armpits this time.
What do you say? He's not a superhero, nor a poet, or a king. He doesn't drive a car or do much of anything, but he's hairy.
Scary? No, hairy.
He has no superpowers, and I've never seen him fly. No secret hideaway, and no all-seeing eye. He's just hairy.
Hairy.
He's most definitely hairy.
Hairy.
His name is Jeremy, and he's hairy.
Hairy.
Unquestionably.
One evening, whilst walking up Greystone Mountain, Jeremy sees something he has never seen before. Jeremy decides to leave them alone. He's had quite enough excitement for one day.
And that was Harry Jeremy. Yeah, so it turns out that the eggheads are a bit like eggs. But that's Harry Jeremy. Now, the next program now is Brum. And today's episode, it's called Brum at the Street Party. So, yeah, and I believe it's something to do with a special surprise for Rob, who is usually very good at cleaning up the streets. So will Brum and his friends organise a party without Rob being seen? Let's find out.
Brum. And that was Brum. Well, let me say one thing. I am so glad that the street party for Rob was such an instant success. And Rob has even got a new road sweeping machine.
That's a very, very cool vehicle though. Perhaps this could be useful for when Rob is getting fed up with just cleaning with his own broom. But anyways, now I'm sure that I'm gonna hand you over to George now to present the rest of the programs, starting with Rosie and Jim. And as me and George would say, but of course I'm gonna say goodbye first, and I'll see you at the end, whatever that may be. Bye everyone, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye. And here I go then. So, from one Ragdoll Productions classic.
Another Ragdoll Productions classic. This is Rosie and Jim, and today they and their narrowboat driver Neil Brewer are going to be looking at roundabouts.
Rosie! Jim! Rosie and Jim, chugging along on the old ragdoll. Rosie and Jim, and Neil, he steers the boat. We go to play and have a look with Rosie's bag, Jim's drawing book. The world drifts by the window frame, and Rosie and Jim, we play our games. Rosie and Jim, finding music every day. Rosie and Jim, and Neil, he sings the song.
On our next programme now is The Sooty Show, and today, Sooty and the gang, Matthew Corbett included, are going to be looking at solid water, whatever that means. Anyway, Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy and see The Sooty Show.
Wait, don't you? I can hazard a jolly good guess, but before you do, let's say goodbye. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. I shall... Are you ready? No, I'm not. You must have you're enjoying yourself.
Always said that things can be no joke, and in today's episode of Bear Behaving Badly there is something that will certainly be no joke. But what is no joke in this episode of Bear Behaving Badly? Well, you'll see for yourself, and I hope you enjoy the episode today. I know absolutely Cactus almost certainly will.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, this time. Oh, open wider. Oh, nearly. Yeah, just have that.
Here's another common phrase for you. No pets allowed, which will almost certainly be the case in today's episode of Chuckle Vision. But what exactly goes on in this episode where no pets are allowed? Well, you'll see for yourself. It's time for the Chuckle Brothers. It's time for Chuckle Vision.
you see. Oh.
A hotel owner keeping a rhinoceros as a pet, a likely story. And, well, I basically wouldn't advise owning rhinoceroses. But anyway, that's it for today's programmes on Children's GBC, but there'll be more to come very soon. And in the meantime, I've been George Brind, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
And there you have it again. So that was George Brind presenting the 4 other programmes. And of course, it's still there. Well, I'm going to say goodbye now. Bye, everyone. See you on Monday. Bye-bye. This is GTV, and now it's time to head on back down to 29th of March 1994 with the fabulous edition of Food and Drink.
Hello again, and a warm welcome to the 199th edition of Food and Drink. Michael, what's afoot?
Well, I'm heading for the Eastern Mediterranean. Lots of summer sunshine.
Do join us for our 200th birthday programme. Till then, goodbye.
Is GTV, and now it's time to head on down to Ramsey Street, and hopefully they'll have some good food there with some good neighbours as well.